Hello and welcome to the discussion of philosophy. Today I am going to discuss one of the most important, interesting, challenging and controversial topics of philosophy, that is causality. Causality being discussed in every field of studies, whether it is philosophy, whether it is science. Now the thing is that what is causality? What is the need of the discussion of the topic causality? This is caused by that whatever we are seeing an event, suppose seeing any occurrence in nature, we try to find out what is the cause behind that occurrence. Now cause and effect, there is a very deep relationship. Now refined approach, what is that? As I've told you, this causality is so important that no subjects can able to avoid this topic. Whether it is arts, whether it is science, whether any cultural approach, whether mathematics, science, statistics, everywhere, you have to understand or you have to find out the cause and effect relationship, and you have to understand what the causality is. Now, philosophical approach. Here I'd like to mention first the philosophical approach. Tries to encompass all of them, and what is that? Aristotle himself stated in his book that if you want to really know the object, you have to question yourself why and what. Because before understanding anything, any occurrence or any conclusion, you have to understand what was the real cause behind any event. Now, cause and effect. Apparently, there are two phenomena. And you have to understand qualitatively and temporally they are different. Two events, occurrences, they are in a relationship, but two events are not they are not having same quality, and also they are not happening at the same time. How they are related to each other? Then why and how we can decide and we can set that this may be the cause of that occurrence and this may be the effect, this will be the effect of that occurrence. So here this is a very crucial topic. You need to understand that now what is causality? Causality is an abstraction to explain worldly phenomena. Seeing any natural event, suppose any natural phenomena, we immediately try to seek the cause of that effect or cause of that event. Now, very intricately related to the cause of time and space. The cause is partly responsible for the effect, and the effect is partly dependent on the cause. Why I am telling you partly? Because for an event, so many events are responsible, but among so many events, you have to understand what is the main event which actually help that second event to happen. So this is very important. Causality, philosophical causality is so abstract that it is a part of metaphysics. The discussion is so wide and so deep that you cannot bind it in any rule. So here in philosophical approach, it is so important, especially in metaphysics. We usually discuss about causality, and it's a very, very difficult topic, So logic may help, but not much useful. Logic can give you one-to-one relationship, can decide that this is the cause of that effect, but this is for natural phenomena. You cannot decide one-to-one relationship. You have to understand what are the relationship that may be the cause of that occurrence. So analysis of causality in different branches of science is more of calculative in nature. But science in higher plane and theorization always takes value judgment into consideration. In science, things much different. But as philosophy is giving you an overview, so you have to understand it actually includes many other fields. Not science only deals with one-to-one relationship and tries to give you a direct cause and effect try to cite one definite cause of any event, but philosophy, it tries to give you an overall outlook. So now, necessary and sufficient causes. If you define cause, you can see that there are two types of causes, necessary and sufficient causes. necessary cause, if X is a necessary cause of Y, then the presence of Y necessarily implies the prior occurrence of X. The presence of X, however, does not imply that Y will occur. In necessary cause, when you see Y, you can think that X is a cause, or X is a necessary cause of Y, then the presence of Y necessarily implies. When you see Y, you can imagine that X will be there, but not necessarily. If X is there, Y will be there. This is a necessary cause. When it is raining, you can imagine that clouds are somewhere else, but seeing clouds, you cannot define that rain will be there. Sufficient causes. If X is a sufficient cause of Y, then the presence of X necessarily implies the subsequent occurrence of Y. Here I'd like to say subsequent occurrence of not only Y, can other effect will be there. Suppose I mention it as Z. So what happened? For fire you need oxygen, but at the same time you need some other agents also. So and if oxygen is there, it is not necessary that fire will be there. Some other things can be happen. So here necessary cause I have shown you in this way. So if same thing I have just mentioned, it is written over here, and these are the sufficient cause. And so presence of Y does not imply the prior occurrence of X. So next is contributory causes. A cause can be a factor among many factors which produce one specific effect. Here in contributory causes, if you want to find out what is the exact cause, I'd like to say that not in philosophy especially, in natural phenomena also, you cannot define one thing is responsible for one thing to happen. Some other things are also working, some other factors are also responsible. You have to take it into consideration, and these are the contributory causes. Theories or models to explain causality. As I have told you before, this is a very important topic, and many theories, philosophers and researchers, they have posed to understand, to define this causality. They are counterfactual theories, structured learning, manipulation theories, process theories, probabilistic causation, causal calculus, derivation theories. Now, ancient contributors. In Hindu philosophy, especially in Indian philosophy, Nyaya, Vaisheshik, even in Buddhist philosophy, they have widely discussed about this causality and cause and effect relationship. Also in Greek philosophy, we have seen that they have discussed about this cause and effect relationship very deeply. Now, Greek philosophy, Aristotelian causality. Aristotle in his book mentioned about 4 types of causes. One is material, formal, effect and final cause. What is a material cause? If suppose you want to make a table, so here in that case material cause obviously the log, formal cause the shape what you are giving out of that log, efficient cause the chisel and the carpenter, and the final cause ultimately the finishing object, that is the final cause. Now Middle Ages and later, it is a very controversial issue. So Middle Ages also, after Aristotle, we can see Thomas Aquinas, Niccolo Machiavelli, Francis Bacon and David Hume. In modern day, they have also discussed about this causality and cause and effect relationship. This is causality, this is not the end. You have to understand deeply causality. So I think this is my today's class, and I will discuss some other points later in my session. Thank you.